Fitness Pro Mentor community, welcome to another episode of the Minds on Muscle show. Glenn and I are committed to helping you 2 to 3x your personal training income because honestly, you can help change lives and you can make a great life for yourself at the same time. Today, the Minds on Muscle show, Glenn and I, we're going to be talking your fitness MBA all around social proof, which has been 99% proven to be more effective to hit home with prospective customers than us, the business, telling people about what we do. But first and foremost, Glenn, how you doing today, man?
I'm good. Is that true? 99%?
Oh, yes. Yeah, we just cleaned up I got a whole new mentorship module that I'm launching tomorrow that I'm excited about. And I was just looking up some of the research, and there's a bunch of stuff that says 86% peer more trusted, business to business, 99%, all these high-level percentages in different closed studies showcasing that if you, as a customer, say great things about me anywhere, particular digital, it's going to be way more effective than if I say how great I am.
Oh, well, I guess that makes sense, but we should talk about and dive into it because I know we've got a lot of different ways that we do the social proof thing here at Strad and through Fitness Pro Mentors, and I'd love to share with everyone listening all the different tips and tricks and tools that we have.
So in short, if you're hearing us talk about this since the first time that you've heard us say this, social proof is one of those things where it's basically a version of a testimonial in many different worlds. I love it. Because most of us, you think, okay, I have a business, I need to get some testimonials and get people talking about what we do. And so we start off with, what do you start off with? If you're going to get testimonials, where do you go? We think about written testimonials, and then video testimonials are kind of like a close second, but most people don't act upon those. Social proof has one specific purpose to help your business, and it is trust. And the truth is, all relationships, humans in general, if you want to do business or interact with someone that you don't know, you have to build trust. Because if you're an expensive person, you're looking for a very interesting connection, something that's different and not quite traditional, you have to build trust. And this is all around trust. And that's where I love it, because social proof, if you can have social proof planned out both strategically and also subconsciously, you can build trust in a way like no other. I love it.
Yeah, and I think there's so many different ways that you can build trust. I think a lot of people always default to this idea of, testimonials or video or photo. But there are so many different other ways that you can go and capture social proof, whether it's text messages from clients that speak oodles and noodles of tons of great stuff about your business, whether that's you do a live or you do a story or a reel and you're educating and you show an example of your client in that reel of them doing the thing that you did. This is something that we try to do on a week-to-week basis, if not a day-to-day basis, to help grow our business. And so it's not just about, hey, gather as many testimonials as you can and then post them and that's it. There has to be a way to convey this information on an ongoing basis consistently in different ways in order to have that message hit home. Because what happens if you just show the same video testimonials, the same pictures over and over again? Clients get used to it. They become almost immune to it in a way. You have to get really creative with how you show the social proof to get people really interested and engaged in what it is that you're doing.
So there are a few things that I would throw out there as immediate rules to consider when we're looking at this. And there's two distinct ones that popped to my mind. First and foremost, we have talked about this a lot, and it's not unique to Fitness Pro Mentors by any means, but Albert Mehrabian's communication wheel is a perfect example of you trying to think about how you should triage what types of content you should put out there. If you're not familiar with Albert Mehrabian's communication wheel, a lot of the neuro-linguistic programming comes from this research, but ultimately, if you have this equation, we have 7% of communication comes from the specific words and the written words. So whatever the word says, only 7% of communication comes from that. 38% of the communication comes from the tone and how you say it. Very quickly, hey Glenn, how you doing? Versus, hey Glenn, how you doing? Two very different sounding scenarios. Both could have very different tones and connotation depending on how you hear about it. And then finally, you have 50% of communication, which comes down to body language and how someone expresses themselves from what you see with their facial expressions, their hands, and their posture. And this is huge. Because if we think about, okay, how am I going to build trust with a new audience and garnish social proof? Well, if we look at that wheel, if you were going to figure out, well, what kind of content should you make? Would you want content where you're getting that 55%, the 100% really, or do you want to just get the tone and the words? And this is one of the reasons why you really don't see, I've never seen this. Have you ever seen a podcast audio testimonial exclusively?
A podcast audio testimonial?
Like just
I don't even know if that
literally
exists.
Exactly. Right. And so this is the funny thing is if you think about this wheel, there are really only two types. People don't just do audio files. Like if you're not going to go to a website and be like, you know what? I want to go to Strata Internal Performance. I want to go to Fitness Pro Mentors. Let me look up the audio clips of people saying how great they are. No one checks that out. Right? And this comes back to if no one's checking that out, which is 38% of communication, how many people are really reading the written testimonials? Really? Digital communication is extremely powerful, just a little bit. And there are contexts where written word is going to be extremely powerful, but not many people are taking advantage of just the audio. And so this is great because if we think about this, this comes down to how do we capture 100% of this Albert Morabian communication wheel? Very quickly, we do audits of our students. When a new student joins our website, our Fitness Pro mentorship, we as a team check out their content and talk about, hey, how could we as a team help improve them? And testimonial pages, what do you typically see when you see testimonial pages on a website?
I usually see something pulled from Google, and it's usually 8 to 10 lines of text jammed together, oftentimes poorly written, no grammar. I'll be honest, I don't think I even read them most of the time because it's just unreadable. It's unreadable. It's poorly formatted, and when I do start reading it, it sounds the same as anything else I've read about other people doing the same thing. And I think we're probably going to talk about storytelling a little bit down the road, but I'll just drop that little tidbit in there. That's usually what I see, Brandon.
100%. So if you see these big blocks of testimonial text and you have these on your website, I will tell you very quickly, congratulations on having great testimonials and people who love to write things about you. If you can get them in a video saying the exact same thing, you will land home 100,000% better. And I'm not trying to exaggerate, even though that's a terrible percentage. Truth is, you get people talking about it, you will hit home 100%. The second thing is when you are creating content for your social proof, make sure it is client result and client experience centric, not practitioner centric. And one of the things I've seen happen a lot is when we start asking our students, hey, go get some social proof, right? They text their client and their client says, hey, Glenn, you are so great. I love my time with you. That's great and a very important thing to know. But if you share that as a text message or a video and they're like, Brandon is so fantastic, he's so much fun to be around, and he's so knowledgeable, that's great. But I'm going to ask everyone that's listening to this, what does that actually say? It doesn't say anything about the product, right? There are a lot of people who are great to be around. I'm sure there's a lot of pilots that have flown the plane that I've been on, and I'm sure they're really nice guys. But the truth is, the experience of getting to the destination is far more important. Getting to the destination is far more important. So when you have social proof, it can't be practitioner centric. It has to be result centric. You have someone that says something like what?
Oh, someone says like, before I came to Strata, I was with pain and discomfort in my knee, and I never knew if I was going to be able to walk the same way again. After experiencing their gym and working with the team there, I felt my strength and endurance improve. And now I can do all the stuff that I never thought I'd ever be able to do again. I really think that Strata is for anyone who wants a customized exercise approach that's going to help them move and feel their best so they can get back to loving life.
And the truth is that's absolutely perfect. Tomorrow in our mentorship call, and if you're interested in learning more about social proof and how to do awesome testimonial videos, first, go to stratainternalperformance.com and check out those videos there because we've got about 20 up there, to be honest, even older ones. And the truth is our whole thing is trying to tell a story, which I'd love for Glenn to talk about storytelling here in a second. But even tomorrow, I have an example of one of the testimonials I received 8 years ago. And it was, Brandon is fantastic. He is so great. I was able to climb Mount Kilimanjaro without feeling any pain, any plantar fasciitis whatsoever. If it weren't for all the work we did and the exercise we did together, I wouldn't have been able to go on this crazy mountain trip. I'm so grateful I was able to do it. You hear, there was a little bit of an accolade for me. That's fine, but that's not really what's important. What's really important is that they were able to do something amazing. And that says something incredible. I don't care whoever you got coming to see you, if you have someone of a unique demographic and that unique demographic does something that is not typical, something that's amazing, right? They had a heart condition and they were able to escape the wheelchair, get off their heart medication and do stuff. That's a story worth telling. Because I guarantee there are at least 1,000, if not 100,000 people within a 10-kilometer radius of you in your city that have a similar or sort of similar problem or know someone that has that problem. And so social proof make it about the client, have fun with it, use visuals as best we can. But I will allude this to Mr. Glenn that storytelling is a big part.
Storytelling is a huge part. And really, when it comes to any aspect of marketing, you are telling a story. We use storytelling when we do presentations and we teach RFPM students about how they ought to be doing presentations. We use storytelling in all of our marketing, everything that we do. And the testimonials we collect are no different. The reason we want to focus on stories is very rarely do people connect with information. Very rarely do they remember any of that. But they remember stories and how they feel listening to the stories way more than anything else. We need that deep human connection. We need to have that kind of trust. We need to see that in the testimonials. And so the hero's journey is a huge part of every testimonial and every story for that matter. When we're talking about the hero's journey, what we really want to be looking at and what we really want to see is where was this person starting and what is their struggle? And then from there, what actions or what lessons and what learnings that were imparted upon them, or did they take away or did they do so that they could move from struggling and frustrated to feeling amazing and be able to do all the stuff that they want to. And then from there, we have our clients simply just tell us from the testimonial who we are for. Because this story mimics what we see in movies. Think of your favorite movie, whatever that is. For me, it's Con Air. I love the movie Con Air. And Con Air, that's a falsely accused Army Ranger. He gets sent to jail, and he's about to become a free man. And all of a sudden, he's stuck on an airplane with a whole bunch of pilots. He could just... convicts. He could just stay on that plane, but what does he do? He picks up his guns, he fights for his friends, he ends up saving the day. And through his growth, what ended up happening, he went from someone who's looking at for himself and his own needs to being more selfless and caring for other people. That was his character's growth. Now, I know that sounds like a bit of a jump to client testimonials, but you have to understand is that your clients have their own story about why that worked for you. Instead of them fighting convicts in an airplane with guns and trying to get home, your clients were fighting osteoarthritis or fat loss and not feeling confident at the beach, or not having muscle and being embarrassed because they didn't feel like they were going to attract a member of the opposite sex or the same sex to be with as a partner. And so when people hear that your clients got everything they needed and more and got their life back by working with you, and they hear your story and the emotions and all the feelings, that's what hits home. That's what has them connected, and that is going to be the hugest selling point for your services.
You know, you guys, many of you have been around for a while. You know, I have a mentor that's passed, and who's a mentor of many people that are a part of this Fitness Pro mentor community in the RTS world, Peter Chasson. And he wrote a blog post like 10 years ago, and it was something titled, and I'm paraphrasing it, "It's all about the story." And the truth is, stories are really what sell everything. The story of every individual, the story of Fitness Pro mentors, the story of you. I love stories. I mean, honestly, if you watch the Friday interview podcast I do with Fitness Pro mentors, the reason why I interview so many different people of different levels, high levels, low levels, if you will, of different accolades and academic and business successes, because everyone has a story. Everyone has a story. If you're alive right now and you've overcome anything, you're making some money, you had a pain, a problem, you have a story, some level of adversity, some challenge, and overcoming it, no matter what it is. And even if you did, quote unquote, a terrible job getting through that adversity, you have an experience that you can call back on and be like, hey, you know what, I would have done differently, and we can all learn from that. This is what I love, and I will say this to like piggyback off of Glenn, is that if we have hundreds of clients that come to Strata Internal Performance. All of them have a similar niche. They're all very different people. Some are cotillionaires, and some are grandparents, and some are kids. But all of them have pains and problems. All of them came here because they want to find a solution to that problem, and they want to feel good, and they want to have a high quality life. No amount of money, no amount of work will supersede the time that they will get from having a higher quality feeling body. Here's what's beautiful about that. Provided everyone was comfortable with it, if I interviewed every single client that came here, I know they would tell a very similar story in their own way. And here's what's cool about that. If you go to McDonald's and you order a bacon double cheeseburger or a Big Mac, you know exactly what you're going to get. Now let's take that idea of the Big Mac and you have a very specific setting. Let's just do bacon cheeseburger to make life easy because I can't remember what's on the Big Mac. Bacon cheeseburger. And you go to every burger joint in your town and you say, I would like a bacon cheeseburger, please. All of those places are going to make you a bacon hamburger, right? 2 patties, double cheese, bacon. Truth is, they're all going to be completely different, but it's the same thing. Here's what's incredible about that. Each one of those burgers, although being the exact same product, will land with people in a different way. I might like lots of little hamburgers that have lots of bacon on them, while someone might like to go a place with a gigantic hamburger. The truth is, it's the same thing, but a different experience. And that's where, getting back to Glenn's point, the consistency of getting tons and tons of people saying the same thing, right? You get the 55-year-old white-haired dude saying he had a problem, he got through it working with Glenn, he feels great. You get the 30-year-old with 4 hip replacements, same thing. 75-year-old, same thing. Here's why that's important. Consistency. The consistency of all these people saying the same thing helps perpetuate your brand and your story. The last part of this micro rant is really, if you have 100 testimonials, and if all of them are different people, and all of them are saying the exact same thing, prospects will not watch all of them. You know who they're going to watch? The person that's like them. And that's why the more pictures, the more videos, the more content that you can showcase that exemplifies different people with the same psychographic problems, you're going to nail it. You'll crush it.
There's no other way really around that. I mean, the consistency is a huge part of what we talk about here at the mentorship. And there's really no way around it. If you're not consistently getting testimonials that are told in a beautiful story format where people are saying the same things with different struggles, you're not going to see the return on investment that you want. And the beautiful thing is that if you have a great product and people are feeling really, really good, they're going to be happy to give you half an hour of their time to do this kind of stuff. And let me tell you something, it doesn't have to be perfect. You might look at some of the testimonials if you go to strideinternalperformance.com, and you might see the lighting that we put into it, the effort that we put into it, the editing, the B-roll, all that stuff. But all that stuff, that's tertiary. 90% of video testimonials are going to be getting great stories and just editing it together. That's really what it's all about. If you get a great story and that comes off, you're laughing.
I mean, truth is, I would encourage you to do this if you're listening to this and this is sounding like something you want to do. If you don't have testimonials and you're still listening to this, go get them right now. You're absolutely nuts for not doing it. And I mean that. Like, really, it is one of the simplest things you can do, and they will work for you forever. We have not put up a brand new testimonial video on the website. Glenn's collected a few through the COVID lockdowns, which is brilliant, but the website ones haven't changed at all in the last 3 years, and they continue to sell for us. And we've got so many on YouTube and on the website that it's just helping us grow. Go to our testimonial tab and you'll see interviews of people with a camera and no microphone from like 8 years ago. People I don't even see anymore that have moved to other countries, but check out the quality difference and how important that is, because the truth is I keep those up there because it's not about the quality, it's about the story. It's about the story.
Yeah, and like, here's the thing. If you're slam busy and it's just like, where do I even find the time to do that? First, that's a happy problem. But second, how does it really take that long to get a nice camera on a phone? Even if you have any phone that's been the past 5 years, it's going to be enough. Put it on a stand, record your client, and ask them a couple questions. You might get a 2 or 3 minute clip where you ask 5 or 6 questions. Hey, why did you come here? Before you came here, how are you feeling? How did you feel after we worked together? Who are we for? You ask a couple simple questions. You collect 2 minutes of footage, and what can you do? You literally, on your iPhone, can edit that out. In 5 or 10 minutes, video testimonial done. It really doesn't have to be super complicated. Get those testimonials, get them up on your website, get them up on your socials, get them up there. It might be one of the best things you could do for your business today.
Now, I'll throw this out there, and I have a strong endorsement for this, and I will tell you that if any of you are looking to upgrade your phone, I would really encourage you to get the latest model of, this is iPhone 13 Pro Max. The 14 will be coming out soon, so this is going to be on sale now. Samsung, whatever Samsung models out there, they all have great cameras right now, and this video right now, if you're watching it, this is from the 13 Pro Max.
It's fantastic.
It's fantastic. And here's the thing is I would tell you that most of these phones now have a portrait and cinematic mode where you can get the nice depth of field. It looks more digital than what Glenn and I have right now with the DSLR, but it's great. The reason why I would say that is Glenn's going to talk about stealth social proof in a second, which I think is super fantastic. But I've been doing on the Strata Instagram page as an experiment, a ton of those as reels, and it's been incredible for audience growth. So if you're going to invest in something, here's a quick story. I've told this before, but I think it's important. I wanted to do more video testimonials. I went to hire a videography company. I got quoted something like 6 years ago, $3,000 or $3,500 to do a 3-minute video with the drone footage coming into the gym and 3 testimonials and then talking head of me. And I was like, well, that's a lot of money, but this could look really good. And then we started going back and forth in the email about their ideas. And the truth is, they had no idea what they did. What I did. They were trying to capture us as like a workout gym with weight loss stuff. And I was like, this is hokey. So what I did at that time, some YouTubers were getting a lot into cinematography and videography stuff for free. So I was like, okay. So what I did was I took the money I was going to buy. I bought a pro camera, a lens, and a microphone, and I invested into some videography courses and watched a ton of YouTube tutorials and learned all the stuff that you see here for lighting, sound, quality, B-roll, editing. And I, money later, learned a bunch of skills and invested into hardware that helped me with my business. I don't think that you as a standalone person need to buy all the stuff that we use here, but if you have a business, I think it's well worth the investment to have a station where you can just do stuff and record high quality content to make it less expensive. Because we record hours of stuff each week with all the gear that we've got here each month, and that would cost tens of thousands of dollars each month if we had a production company helping with that. So that's been huge. Buy a good iPhone. Don't waste your money. Don't waste your time. Get something like this and you can do some really, really incredible stuff. But more importantly, and I think this would be a good place to kind of like slowly hit home, stealth, social proof.
Yeah, I mean, we've been talking a lot about these bigger ideas of social proof. Video testimonials, especially if you've never done them before, can be a little bit intimidating, right? Setting up a camera, editing, all that kind of stuff. Here's the thing, is that all social proof doesn't have to be video testimonials pinnacle all the time. And to be honest, it's tough, because if you want to have consistent testimonials and consistent social proof, and all you have is video testimonials or written testimonials, you're going to run out of those pretty quickly. One of the things that we do here, and you can check it out if you go to the Stride Internal Performance Instagram page, and if you had access to maybe the Fitness Pro Mentors Facebook group, which you should definitely join for more great free information like this, what you'll see is a lot of stealth social proof. Things like every time Brandon interviews another one of these juggernauts, we are taking their authority and we're taking their trust, because they're being interviewed by us, by Brandon, and we're giving that quality content information to you, and that is social proof, right? Those people are going to start following us because they like that person and they trust them, and now they're going to trust Brandon and us because we're doing that. Likewise, when we do our live masterclasses in our Facebook group, or when we do stuff on Instagram, we do educational videos. Often what we do is we take video clips of clients and we will compare before and afters, or we'll show weird exercises of clients doing stuff, and we'll show and we'll have them talk about how they felt after doing that exercise. And that isn't them telling their whole story, but what it's doing is it's showing a client having a great time, feeling better, enjoying themselves, and spending time at our facility. And all that stuff goes a long way. So the more you can capture your clients and them being happy, enjoyment, getting the most out of their time here, saying how much better they're feeling, doing the things that make you unique, like weird exercise that no one else might be doing, or concepts that no one else is really talking about. The more you can show your client doing that thing and discuss that in some format, that's all social proof. So don't just think it has to be written testimonials or video testimonials. There's tons of different ways to put your client front and center, show their experience, and mash that with education to have amazing social proof.
And if you want to make this is perfect, and I love that. Thank you, Glenn. And if you want to make it even simpler, just to get started because you're nervous about videos and production and stuff like that, every phone you have, 99% of your phone will have a photo portrait mode, just for taking pictures of people. And if you take pictures of people in your gym and you say, hey, listen, Steve, 55-year-old guy with a bad shoulder with white hair and an Adidas shirt, can I take a quick picture of you smiling in the gym? And I'll tell you, if you just get happy people with nice eye contact, smiling at your camera in your place that looks different than anywhere else, that in itself is already incredible social proof, because people like me go to places like this. And then second, you can easily tell their story in the sales copy. You can easily copy a study that has a bunch of evidence talking about the power of resistance exercise with bad shoulders and rotator cuff tears, and put that in the sales copy. But the truth is, what sells much more than anything else is people. And you have to understand that people like them. And if you understand that people like them say certain things, and you can figure out how to capture that in a photo or a video, you will crush this. Social proof. I mean, we've said a lot. You need social proof.
Go out there and do it, everyone. It's huge. It's a pillar of your marketing, and if you don't have that, you're not building trust and authority in your community, you're going to have a hard time building your business in the long term. Might not give you all the leads you want right now, but those leads that come out of nowhere later on, this is one of the reasons they're coming to see you, is because somehow they found you and they saw all these amazing video testimonials somewhere, and they're like, okay, let's do it. Let's go.
So listen, we're going to put a pin in this and we're going to do our pick of the week in the second here, but I'll throw this out there that if you're a personal trainer and you are ready to crush it, and this idea of social proof and the things we've talked about in this podcast hits home with you. One of our students in 4 weeks went from $3,500 a month to $8,000 a month. Other students are getting literally 1 to 2 fresh clients per week using these simple systems. This social proof introduction we're talking about today is just the tip of the iceberg of practical application. You can explode this all. Strata internal performance with a low effort because the systems work and a great team, reduced, automated, and delegated. You absolutely can get double-digit leads consistently, just like us. And Mr. Norley, who's crushing it, one of our students, I agree, it definitely works for me. Norley has just opened his second brand new location of his gym, worked with Glenn. He's absolutely sick. So listen, if you want to make more money and you want to crush this thing, please reach out to Glenn or I or Taylor and say, make it rain, and we'll tell you all about what you can do to 2 to 3x your income in the next 12 weeks, if not faster. But, Glenn, what's your pick of the week, man?
Do you want the YouTube storytelling version, or you want the consistency algorithm version? Which one do you want? You pick one, you get one.
You pick.
Okay. So I'm going to go with my initial one here because I think it goes really in line with storytelling. I have a small activity for you, and I think it's really going to help with the storytelling social proof thing. I want you to go to YouTube, and I want you to search up perhaps who your favorite vlogger is or who your favorite fitness personality is to follow online. Someone's got a little bit of charisma, and take a look at their videos. And I want you to see if you can pick out the story format while you're watching it. And it's really, really simple. It's like, look for the struggle that's happening at the beginning. Look for the information that comes that helps this person grow or move through the struggle, move through the obstacles, and then wait for the end to see how there was a payoff and what they felt near the end. And if you look at pretty much any prolific vloggers, videos on YouTube, what you'll see is they always start with that kind of format. They're going to be doing something. There's some kind of struggle involved with obstacles. They have to find out a way to get over the obstacles, and then you stick around because you want to see the payoff near the end. And that's all video testimonials are, is taking a look at the obstacles and the struggles, showing what happens in between to get people to move forward over those struggles and what they learn, and then seeing the payoff, which is feeling better, moving better, looking better, achieving all their health and fitness goals. Go and start looking for these stories, because when I started doing this exercise, spend 10 minutes one day, 20 minutes another day looking at story formats, I got the storytelling instantaneously, and it made everything I did from a marketing perspective be, like, I would honestly say 3 times better. Everything started landing better. My engagement went up. I started getting more referrals. We talked about this on a previous podcast 9 months ago. I think I was doing maybe an hour a week here, if that. And now I'm pretty much slammed at close to like 25, 30 hours a week. So
amazing.
And it's all from like learning storytelling and having better marketing. Please check out that exercise, because I think it's going to go a really long way.
Beautiful. That's incredible. Love it. Thank you so much for that.
Yeah. Brandon, I'll throw it back to you. Pick of the week. I feel like you have so many, but I want to know which one you chose.
I have
today.
a lot, but I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to redo one, and I want to talk about why. My pick of the week is the Rodecaster Pro. Can you turn that over here?
What? This?
Yeah, move the camera
sure.
over.
Yeah.
Okay, so I want you guys to see, if you're watching the video, this little soundboard right in front of me here. I have to be honest that video quality and audio quality is super important to me, and everything that we've talked about thus far today, social proof is key. Our ability to be able to produce high quality content fast is absolutely critical. And one thing, this device here, as a business, has been one of the best investments that I've ever made, and I'm really excited because this is a Rodecaster Pro Mark 1. The Mark 2 just came out, and I pre-ordered it for this business. And the reason why is this model right here captures so much sound, high quality, and I can do great things like put the music in. You can hear, Glenn can't. Everything, it's just simple, and it plugs in, and I can do so many things with it. And the new one has way more features that's going to make it even easier for us to produce content faster, and for me to help transfer data to Glenn so we can do more stuff. So the reason why I throw this out there, if you're a gigantic techie nerd, you want to do higher quality audio stuff, you want to have a podcast, you are just doing video streaming, whatever it is, I can't recommend the Rodecaster Pro more. It is not cheap, but I will tell you that it does so much more than what you pay. I mean, if you were going to outsource every individual piece of audio technology to help create a production, you couldn't buy it for what this thing costs. And right now, since the Mark II's coming out, the Mark 1s are going to be on sale on Facebook and Kijiji and B&H Photo and all that. So I would really recommend that you check it out. I'm excited about it, and so we're going to talk more about that when it comes out.
Fantastic. Everyone, this has been another episode of the Minds on Muscle Show, Fitness Pro Mentors podcast. We really want to help you 2 to 3 times your business. We're seeing tons of great results with a lot of our clients right now. Brown was talking about some of the ones that Taylor's working with. One of the guys I'm working with, honestly, consistently, 3 to 4 new personal training clients per week. Not leads, not prospects. Mr. DG is crushing it right now. And these are real results. You put in the time, you put in the work, you can make it happen for yourself as well. We want to simplify the process for you. That's what we're all about.
Everyone, thank you so much for listening. Please check us out. Join the Fitness Pro Mentors Facebook group. Check us out on Spotify. Check us out on YouTube. We got a bunch of incredible content, and we have one sole mission: help you have an awesome career. Thank you so much for listening.
Have a great day, everyone. Take care.